Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Everything here is very good. I bought a microphone. Not for this. This microphone works fine. But I bought a microphone for recording. This is a Shure SM57 cardioid dynamic microphone. It's just a little guy. In the box, you get a little pouch. You get a microphone stand holder. You get a microphone, and you get a cable piece of Velcro for like wrapping cables. That's it. I mean, there's a sticker, a Shure sticker. This is not a vocal microphone. I guess you could use it this way, and we could plug it in and hear what it sounds like. I wish I had an extra XLR cable. I don't. You've heard this microphone. This, if you've listened to music in any point in your life that's used actual instrumentation, like guitars, drums, whatever, it was probably recorded with an SM57. This is by far the most used microphone in the recording industry, and it has been for decades. Many, I don't know, since the 60s. I don't know when this microphone came out. I have no idea. I just know this is basically the industry standard, not because it's the best microphone for the job, but because it has a very predictable sound profile. And engineers, being engineers, like to work with things they know and understand. And so you can hand an engineer an SM57 and they can go, cool, I know how far I need to put this away from the cone on your amp, or I know how far I need to put this away from your acoustic guitar. I know the profile it's going to produce, so I have a basic EQ I can set for it. Go. It's like, like any standard, it becomes the standard because it's what everybody's familiar with. Not necessarily because somebody sat down and said, this is, this is the standard. We're going to be doing this from now on. Although, maybe that happened. I don't know. I wasn't there. I've never been in a part of the recording industry. But I've always wanted one of these. I've always wanted one of these because this is the microphone. Now, I'm not a recording artist. Maybe someday I will. Maybe someday I will use this microphone to record something that you'll be able to listen to. I don't know for sure. But I've always wanted one of these. And I've never purchased one of these because they're expensive. Not drastically expensive. I think that they're not super expensive is the reason why they are so prevalent in the recording industry. This microphone retails for $100. I got it for $90 during a Black Friday sale. And if you imagine going into a recording studio where you have, a 5-piece band, you might need 10 of these on set to record all the things you need to record. And then, we're talking $1,000 in just microphones. So it gets expensive. But the point of this is, I bought this because I wanted to own it. I wanted to own an SM57. I wanted to own the microphone. I do want to try home recording. That doesn't necessarily mean that, again, I'm going to ever record anything that you're going to hear. But I've been recording my bass guitar, what they would call dry, I guess, or direct. I've been direct in to my computer and recording. It would be common in the recording industry to do both, to record it direct and to also mic my amp. And then you could blend those signals if you want to. And maybe the amp is giving it a slightly, warmer tone or maybe even a slightly harsher tone. And this microphone would pick that up versus the direct in that, is going straight into the laptop. Whatever. The point is, I wanted this. I now own it. And it kind of blows my mind, right? We've talked a lot on this channel about how lucky I feel to be able to spend money like this. Because the reason I've never bought one of these is because $100 for a microphone 5 years ago was like a crippling amount of money. Like it's an outrageous amount of money to spend on anything at that point in my life. There's a reason why this show has been recorded on a $20 microphone for 8 years. First of all, it does fine. Like, I'm absolutely satisfied. This is a BM800, if you wanted to know. There are probably a dozen brand names that have a BM800 if you go on Amazon. They're probably all made in the same factory by the same people. They're just white labeled. You know, somebody buys 1,000 of them, slaps their name on the box and says, I'm selling this, whatever. This is actually a really decent vocal microphone that is cheap, and it works really, really well. Couple it with a power supply, direct into my camera, done. I would feel comfortable using this to record vocals. This guy, though, I'm going to use it to record my bass amp someday, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I own it. And I now get to see like what is so special about the SM57. I don't know. I've never used it. I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see for myself. And just like having my P bass, that is kind of the most recorded bass guitar in history. It's just a similar situation to this. Engineers know the P bass. They know the sound of the P bass. It's a very predictable thing. It becomes kind of the standard. Yeah. Feels weird to buy a $100 microphone. What am I going to do with a $100 microphone? I don't know. I'm definitely not setting up a recording studio. I don't need a dozen of these. But having one so that I can, if needs be, record my amp and give a nice, wet signal to somebody, sure. I now have that capability. And I would like to think that someday I will do that. Someday I will record my bass and I will be able to provide, bass tracks for people. And it'd be nice to have the equipment to do it and the knowledge. And I think that's the real key here. I bought a $100 microphone, not because I need a $100 microphone, but I want the knowledge. I want to know how to use it. I want the knowledge that comes with that. That's the sausage stuff that I love. I love knowing how the sausage is made. And I'm going to figure that out with this guy. And maybe someday you'll get to hear something I record on it. Still, it feels outrageous that I can spend money like this and not feel horrific about it. I feel bad. I feel like I just spent $100 on something I don't really need. True. That feels bad. But it's also like, okay, and like not a big deal. That's the part that feels surreal to me, is that it's not a big deal at all. I'm happy to own it. I'm happy to play with it. Okay. That's all I got. I know that wasn't exciting. It was exciting for you. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 19 quick tricks to feel better instantly, and we are on number 16. You can say, think about your latest or greatest success. Think about it for at least 60 seconds. Taking in your successes will help you reach it again and again. Quite simply, it reminds you that you've done it before. You can do it again. I think this is the key for me, for all of my learning, is remembering that it's much easier to remember the bad times, and that I have to force myself to remember the good times. I have to force myself to go, oh man, you played that, I'm learning bass. Go back to this thing. I have to force myself to say, oh, you played that line so good yesterday. Today, not so great. But I can do it because I have done it. That's important. It's so much easier to remember the failures. I want to talk about that. Somebody remind me. Because I read something or I heard something the other day about that, and I want to go back to that.